Good afternoon from Sun Valley Lanes in Lincoln, Nebraska. Ready to get started with our second round of match play here at the PWBA Lincoln Open. Our opening matches in this round, Shannon Pluhowski against Shannon O'Keefe. And Brandy Branca against Jasmine Snell. Standings after 20 total games have Amanda Green still on top at plus 747. Erin McCarthy at plus 580 is in second place. Kelly Kulik at plus 541 is third. Shannon Pluhowski plus 491 is in fourth place. So those are the top four players in position to make the show with 8 games to go. Top four advance and make it into the stepladder finals tonight, where we still have 8 games to go before that is decided. Fifth place is Brittany Smith at plus 427. She's 64 pins back of fourth place. Rocio Restrepo's 96 pins back. Carolyn Dorn-Ballard 97 back. Shannon O'Keefe 101 pins back. Stephanie Johnson 164 back, and Clara Guerrero 168 pins back of fourth place. Everybody else is quite a ways back. You can find the total complete standings after 20 games at pwba.com/live. As we settle into our matches here, we've got 30 bonus pins going to the winner, 15 for a tie, and 0 for a loss. Haven't had any ties yet today. Nobody has really dominated match play in terms of winning 7 or 8 matches. 6-2 seems to be the best record on the day. Pluhowski, Smith, Dorn-Ballard all 6-2. Everybody else kind of in that 5-3, 4-4 range. And a few 3-5s. Early here, game 1 of 8 in our second round of match play. We have 7 games, and then game 8 will be the position round to finalize our 4 for the stepladder tonight. Right now, Amanda Green in the number by 320 pins with 8 games left. Pluhowski coming over to the left lane where she has not struck yet in this match. 7 spare on that lane. She finds a double out there now. She needs it because Shannon O'Keefe has come on strong here to start this match. Spare triple for O'Keefe, who is currently in 8th place. She would love to make up some ground on Pluhowski, who's in 4th. Another strike for O'Keefe, 4 in a row. She's leading now by 20 pins. Brandy with her 3rd consecutive strike. She leads by 21. Another strike for Shannon O'Keefe. 5 in a row. Now up by 30. Shannon coming out on a mission here in this first game. She's got some work to do to make it into the top 4. Currently 101 pins behind Pluhowski, who has the number 4 spot currently. Nice split conversion there for Brandy. She maintains an 18-pin lead with that conversion. Lots of strikes between the Shannons this game to start things off. O'Keefe got that one left off her hand and leaves the split, pays the price for the bad shot, 4-6-7. So now O'Keefe is going to trail in the match by 5 pins. Amazing how quick it can turn around just on one bad shot. Seven pin for Pluhowski. Keeps things close. Spare here. She's up 4, 2 frames to go. Pluhowski the strike in the 9th, but O'Keefe can strike out here to shut her out and take the game. Max score for O'Keefe is 255. The max for Pluhowski is 249. So if O'Keefe strikes here in the 9th and gets the first 2 in the 10th, she'll just need a few pins and count to lock up the win here in this opening game of the second round of match play. Brandy with a strike. She's up by 33 in that match. So here's O'Keefe. Big shot here. Weak 10. And something came around and got it. Gotta like when you get a little help on that 10 pin. So that's a big strike for Shannon. Now she has a chance to shut out Pluhowski with a double. Gets the strike. First one in the 10th is good. 3 in a row. That puts her in the 240s. One more and she will have enough. Second shot in the 10th coming up here for Shannon O'Keefe. Working on 3 in a row. She needs one more strike for the shutout against Pluhowski. O'Keefe up on the approach, ready to go here. She can max at 255 this game. Comes up light and leaves the double wood. So Pluhowski will have a chance to take the game with a double in the 10th. .243 for O'Keefe. And Pluhowski can strike out for 249. Pluhowski gets the first one. All right, Shannon Pluhowski, shot of the game right here. Needs a strike to win the game, and the 7 falls backwards for the strike for Pluhowski. And she'll just need 5 pins on her final ball to lock up the win here against Shannon O'Keefe. Snell with the spare in the 9th. This game is still got 1 frame to go here, and Brandy is going to win. It looks like. And we'll be heading into game 2 shortly. $188 for Snell. All right, so our matches for the next game: Jasmine Snell against Stephanie Johnson and Shannon O'Keefe against Erin McCarthy. All right, so underway. Game 2 of this round. Rocking 9-pin for Jasmine. O'Keefe with a 7-10 split in the third. Should have standings here any second. Let you know as soon as we get the update. Snell with a double. Takes an early 10-pin lead on Stephanie Johnson. Johnson looking to take the lead here. Instead, through the face, leaves the 3-6. Jason Thomas sitting in now. Jason, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Lucas.
We are in game 2 of 8. Shaping up to be another good show this week, regardless of who makes it. We got a lot of good bowlers right at the top fighting to get in.
It is a great show. We got Amanda Green dominating. Erin McCarthy looks like she's going to be bowling on the show later today. Kelly Kulik in there. And then that 4 spot still up for grabs.
Amanda has been really good on the fresh so far this week, but she actually only bowled 183 the first game of this block, which is kind of surprising because she had absolutely killed the fresh the last 3 times she'd seen it. So don't know what's going on with her. Yeah, 183 it looks like is what she had.
Yeah, but she's got the front 5 this game.
She'll be fine. I think she's going to be okay.
Yeah. I watched her bowl a little bit on that pair, and it looked like she had a very good look in practice, which, as you know, means you usually don't have a good look once the arrows come up.
That's true. Seems like if you strike throughout practice, all of a sudden it goes away.
Right.
And if you don't throw a single strike in practice, it means you're going to bowl good.
Right.
It's
right.
amazing how that happens.
I don't think she missed in practice.
O'Keefe with a double to make up for that pocket 7-10 in the third.
Yeah, it seems like the players that, at least on the right side, obviously, because there's only one lefty in the finals, and she likes to go very direct and straight. It seems like the way to attack this 41-foot pattern is to go a little bit left to right and get the ball to hook a lot on the back. And that's. Do
you want to know what Amanda Green is good at?
Just what I said.
Exactly what you said.
And so is Erin McCarthy.
Yep.
And Kelly Kulik's not too bad at it either. But mostly, getting to the pocket hasn't been an issue this week, but carry has been the issue. And the reason why Amanda's been so dominant is her carry percentage is through the roof.
Well, you put the black cloud on her because she had the front 5 and then she missed immediately when you said that.
Probably got tapped on a pocket hit. As I said, her carry was so good.
Exactly.
No, but I think that's kind of what we're seeing here this week. You got a player like Stephanie who has been bowling fantastically well, but she just can't get the ball to strike enough to keep up with the rest of the pack.
Stephanie, the only bowler this season to make every match play appearance. She's made match play in every tournament, including the Queens and all of the standard events.
That's pretty impressive. I mean, 16 isn't a big number to be taken into the finals, and especially when you've got between 80 and 120 bowlers every week. So for her to be, and then of course you have the Queens in there, which was 64, but then that one counted as a match play appearance. But man, it's hard to make every single finals when you've got this many good players and only 16 spots available every week.
And Stephanie said she's bowled every Pro-Am as well. So she said she's bowled like almost the maximum amount of games every week.
Oh wow!
On the tour.
Maybe
we need to give her a break.
Yeah, we need to give her a week off.
Give her a week off from the Pro-Am. But she's definitely gotten a lot of games in this season, more than anybody else.
And I know she had been practicing a lot coming into the season. We'd see her down at the ITRC every now and then she's obviously got the bowling center back at home that she can practice at all the time. So she was on a mission when she came into the season, to get that first PWBA title, which she got, and now the goal is to keep that #1 seed in the Tour Championship.
And that is important because?
Well, it's important because for a number of reasons. One is that's the way we'll be determining Player of the Year and Rookie of the Year. So if she can hang on to the lead in the points for the whole season, she'll be the Player of the Year and the Rookie of the Year. And then the other reason is that the top 2 point earners from the season are automatically seeded onto the telecast for the Tour Championship.
And that one pays like 20 grand on top, right?
Correct.
So that's a big deal to be seeded into the show.
It's a $60,000 prize fund, but it will only be divided among 16 players. So.
And so talk a little bit more about how the Player of the Year and the Rookie of the Year is determined and who's eligible for Rookie of the Year?
Yeah, Player of the Year, both of them actually are
just
based on points.
Yeah.
So whoever has the most points at the end of the year wins. Rookie of the Year, every player who did not have a chance to bowl on the PWBA Tour will be eligible for Rookie of the Year. So that would include players like Missy Parkin and Stephanie Johnson and Shannon O'Keefe. All those players that never had a chance to bowl on the PWBA are going to be rookies this season, which probably means this year will be the best rookie class that we've ever had in the history of the PWBA. It's also very likely that the Player of the Year will also be the Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, it sure seems like it. There's a few players in the top 5 in the points. Liz Johnson, Kelly Kulick, who would not be eligible for that, but
right.
It's certainly more likely than not that it will be the same player who gets both honors. Stephanie's looking pretty solid to be that person.
Yeah,
right now.
well, it also looks like she's figured out something with that ball, that Red Legend, that's a little closer to what some of the players at the top of the leaderboard have. It looks like she was trying to throw the Paradox early all week, and it was good getting the ball to the pocket, but she was just not able to carry at the rate that some of the leaders were able to carry at. Obviously, well enough to make a run into the finals, but this other ball that she's got looks like it's going through the pins a lot better, and she goes off the sheet here and shoots 260. She's right back into it.
Yeah, Stephanie shot 240 the last game of the first round to make up a lot of pins. But coming into this final block, she was 164 pins outside of 4th place. Erin McCarthy hasn't had to travel very far this week. She lives in Omaha, which is about an hour away from here. She's a nurse by trade. Judging from her Facebook posts, it seems like she works every off day and doesn't get a whole lot of sleep.
No, she's
just pulling doubles or whatever.
Yeah, 3 straight shifts one week, which is 24 hours straight. That's a lot going on, but she's She's having a good week this week, and when she starts striking, she can throw a lot of strikes. We saw her at the Queens. Remember those last 2 matches, averaged over 260 to lock up the top seed.
Well, Shannon O'Keefe's got some strikes working now, 5 on a row. Talked to Brian, her husband, a minute ago, and he said that the problem for Shannon this morning was that every time she made a bad shot, she left a split. So she paid the maximum penalty for every bad shot, it seemed like, and that really just kills your momentum.
She told me she had a couple of actually really good 170 games where she would go to a new pair and she would split in the first frame just because the pair played a little different, and then got a little bit behind, 2 or 3 frames in, and then she would get lined up and start hitting the pocket, but she was never able to string strikes when she got lined up. And so it's frustrating because you've got 40 in the third or 38 in the third, and you're trying to string some strikes to get back above 200, and you just can't carry 2 in a row. And she said she had a couple of games like that this morning. The one that really hurt her was game 8. She had a chance to win the match and missed in the 10th and ended up shooting 170 and losing, and she went from 5th down to 8th.
And she also had one match on our featured pairs where she was about to lose, and then Sutphin stepped up and missed the 10-pin to give her the 30 bonus spin, so they both shot 170.
Wow.
So, but right now, Shannon and Aaron are putting up some pretty good numbers here this game. O'Keefe can strike out for 258. Aaron can strike out for 236.
Yeah, this is a huge shot right here for Aaron.
Needs a couple of strikes here to put some pressure on. That's a good shot. Generates a lot of power for a little person.
She does, and that the way the pins fell right there, that's what you're looking for. It's almost like they just put up no resistance.
Yeah, I don't know that you would say the pins even fell. They just kind of blew away.
Yeah, right. They got sucked back into the vortex of the pit.
If Aaron strikes out for 236, it's going to force Shannon to do a little work in the 10th.
Looks good there.
Oh, man. Yeah, strike on the fill forces Shannon to go 9 spare strike to win by a pin. So the count pretty significant for Aaron McCarthy. And a pretty close match between Snell and Johnson. 2 pins.
Yeah, we
Snell.
saw. I'm sorry. I was just going to say we saw Shannon lose to Shannon Blahowski last game with 240, and she could shoot 230 and lose this game.
Count important here for Aaron McCarthy. Gets all 10, 236. By the way, we saw Stephanie Johnson not get a pin on that split in the 8th, and that has caused her to trail by 2. She would have been even if she would have gotten the 1 instead of going for it.
She came close to making it, but like you said, she missed that pin, and now she's down in the match.
All right, O'Keefe needs 9 spare strike to win by 1, but she wants all 3 here. Oh, wow. Her head might have popped off her shoulder if that 710 had stayed up.
You see, when she looked around, she had the look on her face of, I think the look was there because of the 710, and her face didn't have a chance to adjust by the time she turned it around. But I'm sure she's relieved that the 10 went.
And now she's got some work to do to win the game. She needs to pick it up and strike.
Stephanie just made her first poor shot that we've seen of the match. Just yanked it left and had no chance. So if she spares and strikes, she'll shoot 210. And Jasmine Snow just need a good count and a mark.
And here is O'Keefe on the far right side of your screen. Strike to win by 1, 9 is a tie. Anything less is a loss. Gets all 10 for the 1-pin victory, and that is really huge for Shannon O'Keefe given the position she is in. She really needed those 30 bonus pins, and she took them.
Yeah, that was a great game. Great match. .209 for Stephanie Johnson. Jasmine Snell just needs some good count and a mark.
Finishing up game 2, Snell needs a mark with count to win. Leaves the 10-pin, and I won't say it's an easy spare because I've seen it missed already today to lose a match.
But it is an easy spare.
It is an easy spare, but it's not a 100%
It's not a gimme.
in a situation like this.
Right. Uh-oh. Oh, that scared me a little bit.
The lane was about 5 or 6 feet longer. It might have been a little bit of trouble. It did look like it was pretty right off her hand, though.
It did, yeah.
Hung in there. So she just needs 7 pins to win by 1. And she got up pretty quick, not really thinking too much about it. Gets the strike. 213, 209. Snell beats Johnson. Gonna have Rocio Restrepo against Amanda Green in just a minute.
Yeah, that's probably going to put Stephanie Johnson around 200 back of the show. And that means
Only 6 games left.
Yeah, she needs to get it going.
Don't have the update yet after the 21st game. I don't know if they forgot to update it or what, but hopefully we'll get the update after this game. Stepladder tonight, 6:30 p.m. Central Time, 7:30 Eastern, just like it has been the last few weeks. Next week, we're in Welch, Minnesota at Treasure Island Casino, right?
Yes, we are. That's right. That's right. They've done a lot of PBA 50 events there. And should be a great event. Another sellout on the PWBA Tour.
I think it's the smallest center we'll go to all season, right?
It is. That's
24.
Correct. Yes, 24 lanes.
So we have room for a max of 60 bowlers. And it's been sold out for quite a while now, actually.
And I know you mentioned the stepladder, and for tonight, if you're in the area, you want to get out here because John Lucido, the proprietor here, Sun Valley Lanes, is going to be handing out 4 big screen TVs during the stepladder finals. He's got a couple of 50 inches and a 60 inch that he's going to give away prior to the final match. So Lucas and I are not eligible to win those. So if you come down,
We're not home enough to be able to watch a big screen TV
that's
anyways.
True. That's true. That's true. I'll be home for 2 days in the next 23, I think.
I think I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
We've got a long stretch coming up to close out the season with Welch next week, followed by Detroit, followed by the U.S. Women's Open, followed by the Tour Championship.
I think my daughter, who was 6 when I left home, is going to start college next week.
And hopefully my fiance will have the entire wedding planned before
Oh,
I get back.
yeah,
back
right.
home.
Yeah, yeah. You would hope. Otherwise, you're just going to be wearing what you're wearing.
Pretty much. I think that's the only thing left is I have to do my outfit, which she can't really do that. So
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, get a chance to watch the leader here.
yeah, we'll see Green against Restrepo and Sutphin against Guerrero. It looks like Sutphin finally got her first win. She went 0-8 this morning, but won.
Yeah, I was wondering about
won a
that.
game at some point. I think she won her first game in this second round.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody go completely defeated in a match play.
Pretty hard to do, I would think.
Yeah.
Just like equally as hard to go undefeated.
Right.
Well, Katie had a chance to win 2 matches this morning for sure that I watched. She, I think she was bowling Rocio, and she needed 9 for a tie strike for a win, and she got 8. In the very next match, she missed a 10-pin to lose to Shannon O'Keefe. So she was a little hot after that.
I'm sure.
And little known fact, Catherine Sutphin from Mount Dora, Florida, my hometown,
Oh,
believe it
wow.
or not. Small world.
How about that? Yeah, you could tell her average is not the lowest average in the
No.
field. But those match play bonus pins sure do make a difference.
And actually, the one average that sticks out like a sore thumb when I look at the standings is Carolyn Doran-Ballard, who's only averaging 210.7, but in 7th place. There are, three players behind her who are averaging more,
Yeah.
but she wins her matches. She's 6-2 this morning.
The other thing is that Amanda Green, who we're watching right now, is averaging 10 pins a game better than the next closest pursuer. That's a lot.
Well, it helps that Amanda went 793 out of the gates the first 3 games of qualifying. She picked up a lot of pins on the field right there.
Hasn't she bowled the high block all 3 so far that she's bowled?
Yeah, she probably has. She had the high block this morning, 1764.
Usually that's a good sign.
Looks like the standings are updated after 22. So Amanda Green still in the lead, 857 over. Aaron McCarthy at 691. So the number has, let's see here, gotten a little bit closer. It started today 181 above the field. Now it's 160.
Yeah.
So
They've kind of been pacing each other all day.
Kelly Kulik is third at plus 623. Shannon Blahowski at 613. And now this is the biggest gap of the day we've seen. It's 113 from 4th to 5th. And then 156 down to 6th place. So the leaders are starting to run away with things a little bit. It was a lot closer a game or 2 ago, and now all of a sudden it's blown up. Pretty big gap with 6 to go. You got O'Keefe 113 back. Restrepo 156 back. Guerrero is 7th at 185 back. Brittany Smith at 194 pins off the show, and then it drops to 258 for Brandy Branca. So may not be a terribly exciting finish the way things are going.
This is a huge game right here we're watching in front of us right now. We've got both of these matches. We've got Clara Guerrero still has a chance, and Rocio Restrepo still has a chance, but they need some big games in a hurry. And even though Rocio is bowling one of the tournament leaders, it's not going to help her all that much because I don't think anybody's catching Amanda Green.
Yeah, I don't think so. And if they do, they will probably have bowled really well to do so. And
Right.
I mean, right now, Amanda is in the show by 357 pins over 5th. So
Got a
she's looking
huge
pretty
match
solid.
off to our right with O'Keefe taking on Kelly Kulik.
yeah, Shannon's got to find a way to win some of those matches against the players who are ahead of her in the standings. She lost that match to Plahowski. And if she'd won that, she'd be 30 pins closer.
Right. she's out of the gate pretty hot this round. She's got 240, 230 and a win, and now she's off this match with the front 3. So making a run.
I certainly hope that someone outside of the top 4 keeps it close so that we have an exciting position round.
Yeah.
Or maybe a couple of them can.
We like excitement.
Yeah, exactly. Last week was pretty exciting.
It was. It was pretty crazy. And 8 players had a chance.
Yeah. That might be a little too exciting, but.
It does require a lot of math.
Oh, look at Rowe getting the break. Took a while for that pin to fall. Got paralyzed and eventually fell over. Rocio still has a chance to make the show, as does Clara. They've got some work to do. Anytime you start getting into triple digits behind 4th, it gets tough, but can make it up in one game.
Yeah.
Shoot 260 and win, and you can make up a lot of ground. But
you want to be within double digits with 2 to go. That's kind of the limit.
Right now, Shannon O'Keefe is 123 pins behind Kelly Kulik. Shannon shoots 260, wins this game, and Kelly shoots, 2-0. There's 100 pins right there, basically. So it can get pretty tight in a hurry. But by the same respect, it can also, you can create even more of a gap pretty quickly if the top 4 pop big games and win. John Lucido walking around handing out candy to the players. You'll see him in a second. There he is. He likes to try to keep the players happy and drops off a couple of candies for them. Nice conversion there for Clara. Makes the washout. This trails by 11.
Notice he didn't bring any candy to us.
No.
I think he's making a judgment.
Yeah, I even put my hand out and he walked right past me.
Hey, there it is.
Oh, now he came over. Thanks, John.
Rolos. Huh?
Yes. They have Rolo Minis Blizzards now at Dairy Queen.
Okay.
Haven't heard of that. Need to get Rolos as a sponsor of the tour.
That'd be great.
Free candy every week. Clara through the face leaves the split. Well, certainly the key for the players 5, 6, 7, 8 in the standings. They got to win matches. In addition to increasing their scoring output.
Well, Shannon O'Keefe is.
Yep. Rocio with a big 4.
Yeah, both her and Clara go a little more end over end, and they're both, you can tell they're trying to duplicate what Amanda Green is doing, but they just don't have as much tilt. And
It's hard to duplicate what Amanda does.
right.
She's got kind of a unique ball roll for the women's game.
She does. And it's kind of been her downfall a little bit out here. She's had, it seems like every tournament she's had one good block and one bad block.
Yeah, she's very up and down.
Yeah. Yeah, so when she gets it, she can strike with anybody because she creates so much angle down lane that she carries pretty much as good as or better than everybody in the field. But then when she doesn't see it, it can get ugly quick.
Speaking of ugly, we've got 3 of the 4 players on our featured pairs right now, making them look pretty tough.
Thank goodness you went there. Could have gotten us into a lot of trouble.
No. I don't comment on fashion or looks.
Good man.
At least not in the women's tournaments.
Plus, you'd be completely wrong.
That's exactly right.
But it seemed like this, around this time, see the thing here is, we've got the medium pattern out, so you can play a little bit further to the right, but the track always hooks in this building, so 7-8 is always going to hook. And the problem is, if you've started out to the right and you've had a little bit of a decent ball reaction, and now it starts to go away, I don't think these ladies are used to jumping far enough left to see where that defined friction is sitting there at 7, 8, 9, 10. So what happens is they'll inch their way from 5 to 6 to 7, and they just don't make the move fast enough. So you see a lot of low scores in games 2 and 3, and then when they finally realize, oh, I need to move left further, then the scores go back up again. We've kind of seen that every block. Remember yesterday, we had a bunch of 250s and 60s the first game.
Yeah.
And then game 2, I think 230 was the high game. And then once they started to see hook inside and they got left far enough, then they started to score again. But it's really hard to go against what you're used to doing, and no matter how many times, this is the 4th time these ladies have seen this, this fresh, and they're still having trouble seeing the transition and moving, making the big jump. Amanda's not having any trouble with it. You can see how far left she is.
Yeah, she said it's her A game. Stand left or right, kind of, it's what she likes to do.
Clara's kind of right in between it, so she got one right and it washed out, and then so now she's afraid, so she's trying to stay right on top of it and just square up a little bit, and it's just going high. She just needs to move off that high hit and get her feet just a little further left, and then she takes that out of bounds that she hit out of play. But it's just hard to force yourself to do it.
Well, Rocio and Clara were both in 6th and 7th. They're not doing themselves any favor this game. Rocio finally with a double. Certainly seems like the way things are shaping up here in this 3rd game that we're going to see a gap develop between 5th and 6th at this rate.
Very well could be.
Because O'Keefe can shoot 267 and win.
A big game, and Kelly's actually.
Yeah, it's not determined yet.
Yeah, but Kelly's still in the match. He can shoot 257.
Well, let's see if Rowe can keep it going. Not quite.
Yeah, you can see the difference in the ball roll between Amanda and Rocio. For Amanda, that ball gets back because she's got so much more tilt.
It doesn't just get back; it gets back and it hits hard.
Yeah, right. So it's saving way more energy through the front, and then it's hooking so much more on the back. And even though Rocio can play that angle, there's really no combination of equipment, surface, with the way that she comes out of the ball to be able to duplicate what Amanda's able to do.
Kelly just threw another strike for 4 in a row against Shannon. If you want to follow the frame by frame for that one, it's on the last pair in use, 29 and 30. PWBA.com/live for the live scoring.
Shannon's wondering what she's got to do to get an easy win.
Yeah, I know, right? And Green with the strike. Amanda's got an interesting approach. Her backswing's not that high, and she kind of does the same thing with her follow-through that like Diana does, where it comes across in front of her
Yeah.
face
Yeah.
to the left side of her head.
Well, and the other interesting thing is, she takes 4 steps from almost the back of the approach, and she's got really long legs. And the reason she's able to get away with that short swing is by using her legs. And she's got that long last step and slide, and she just kind of whips it through. I mean, look at how far back she is on the approach, and just 4 steps.
Looks like Shannon left a 10 pin against Kelly, so pretty high scoring game down there.
Yeah, Kelly can shut her out now.
Yep.
Katie is a talented player. Looks like she just has a little bit of a learning curve to go through on the match play portion of the tournament. She's made quite a few finals, and she's just kind of struggled when she's gotten to match play. But she's going to figure it out, and we're going to see a lot of her.
Well, Clara had a nice talk with her ball rep, Rob Gotchel, back here. Let's see if that talk pays any dividends.
Yeah, she's going to be further left, much further left. Just got a text from Jeff Goodger over on the other side of the extra frame window.
Yes, they're live streaming the PWBA 60, right?
Yeah. And he made a comment about Amanda Green.
Hopefully it was a good comment.
It was. It was. He's hoping that the tournament leader jinx did not apply to her.
Yeah.
Yes. Because it sure looks like she's going to be in that #1 spot bowling for the title later today.
Clara down by 21.
Wow. I think she's really hooked.
She'll take it. Kelly Kulik has pulled a 6-bagger out of her hat against Shannon O'Keefe. So it looks like Kelly is going to win that one. It's going to be a big win for Kelly. 246 for Kelly Kulik.
It's like Shannon can
Yeah,
tie.
Shannon
her.
can tie. Yeah. She needed that one. Sometimes these scoreboards are a little tough to read, especially at an angle, because the color distortion from top to bottom makes it look like the numbers.
Plus, you're colorblind anyway.
I can see red's pretty good.
Okay.
So Kelly with 246. So she's definitely not going to lose any ground. Worst case scenario is for Kelly is that things stay exactly the same between her and Shannon O'Keefe, which would be 123 pins.
Yeah, I'm sure Shannon would prefer to get the 15 so
Yeah.
she can hopefully pick up ground on Blahowski. It's a big 10th frame here more for Rocio than for Amanda, but Amanda can shut out the match. All 3 in the 10th. There's one.
Yeah, certainly the bonus pins are more important for Rocio than they are for Amanda in this situation.
Yeah, Amanda's not to the point yet where she can coast in, but she wants the 30 as well. But Rocio's going to be in kind of the dead zone if she doesn't get the win here this game.
O'Keefe stuffed a 4-pin on her second shot in the 10th, so she will lose. And Kulik will add another 40 pins to her lead on O'Keefe, who was in 5th. Well, Rocio's going to have a chance here, isn't she?
Yeah, decent shot there.
Rocio's going to need a double.
Amanda Green's bad shots this week are flat 10s, and that's when the scores are low and the pocket's at a premium, that's going to win you a lot of tournaments.
Clara is going to drop back quite a bit from the cut number now with this game. She can only strike out for 181. She's going to lose. Now she's looking at 170. So she's probably going to be at least 200 pins back of 4th, I would think. And Rocio trying to hang in there. Needs a double here to pick up the win and the bonus pins. Basically, Rocio looking to pick up the bonus pins here just to tread water against with O'Keefe. We don't know what Plahowski shot that game. She's always the first one done every game.
Yeah.
And the scoreboards disappear pretty quick.
Yep, she's already waiting for the next match to start.
Always, every game. She does not mess around.
You know what's also funny is she's a complete connoisseur of how fast every player in the field is.
Yeah,
she can tell you where they rank on a scale of 1 to 10.
Looks like she shot 190, Plahowski. Don't know if she won or lost, though. So Rocio needs a strike here to win the game. And she gets it. Good shot, 4 in a row. Still needs a couple of pins, but Rocio can strike on the fill for 212. And Katie Sutphin gets her 4th consecutive strike. Should be at 232. With a couple more. And win her 2nd match of the day. And Clara Guerrero going the wrong direction from the rest of the pack at the top. Great finish for Rowe after a shaky start. 212 to 203. She beats the #1 player in the field, Amanda Green.
That was pretty big right there. That was a big, big finish. He needed it.
She actually gained a little bit of ground on O'Keefe, just a few pins, because Shannon shot 230 and lost. So Rocio actually went plus 42, so she picked up like 6 pins or something.
She'll pick up, like you were mentioning, if Plahowski shot 190, whether she won or lost, she'll pick up some pins on her.
Yeah, so 4, 5, 6 should still be pretty close. I think 7 and 8 dropped back a little bit that game. We know Clara shot 160. I think that Brittany Smith shot around 190, and don't know if she won or lost. looks like Pluhowski lost because her bonus pins are 240, which would be 8 wins. And that's what she had going into that last game. So
Detective work by Lucas Wiseman.
that's right. Figuring it out based on what's on the scoreboards. Have to use the information that's available.
It's like a game of Sudoku.
All right. Got Diana Zavielova against Samantha Shaden and Kelly Kulik against Carolyn Dorn-Ballard. Game 4 of 8, going right at about 25 minutes a game. So about right on par with what we should be. Give you an update on the standings momentarily as soon as we have it. Got a few more games to go here. 4 games before our position round. Finishes things up each week in the standard events to determine our stepladder finalists.
Carolyn is interesting. She's so intense. You can just see it by watching her. But we gave the players menus at the beginning of the round this morning. Proprietor here, John Macedo, was nice enough to provide food for the ladies all week. And for the match play finalists, we gave them all a menu and let them pick off the menu what they wanted, so it would be prepared for them during the break. And we went down to collect all the menus, and everybody had theirs filled out except Carolyn. And so Damon asked Carolyn, what do you want for lunch? She's like, I'm too busy to think about it. I don't know. Damon, just pick something, Carolyn. Do you like chicken? Do you like pizza? What do you like? She's like, I don't know. And so we just had to pick something for her.
Yeah, I watched that conversation transpire between her and Damon sitting here. I couldn't hear it, but I could tell exactly what was happening without having to even hear a word.
Yeah, she didn't want to waste any energy on what she was going to have for lunch because she wanted to completely focus on the bowling.
It's the light hit the carry. Diana and Samantha both with the front 3. I wouldn't be surprised to see Diana make a run, make a move. I don't know if she has enough games left, but
well, she's got so much firepower.
Yeah,
man, she can run off 800, before you can blink.
It seems like she should be bowling better on this pattern than she has been. I think she's been pretty frustrated.
Yeah, I think the last several weeks with the shorter patterns, she's been really working on going harder and straighter. And I think that worked for her this week, but it probably would have been better if she'd been a little softer and kind of played him a little more like Amanda Green, which she's more than capable of doing. It's just that you know, she's just been focusing so much on being more aggressive, being straighter through the front part of the lane. Every time she's really tried to hook it this year, it's really backfired on her. And she's had a couple of tournaments where she looked like she was completely dead and buried, and then she would go on a big run. And like last week, she shot 299 the last game of the first round to get to plus, and then made a big run in the second round of qualifying to get into the finals, and then just barely missed the show. I'm not sure if there's any player out here that can strike as much as she can. Just get it going with just a giant run of big scores.
She looks like she's been agitated and annoyed since the moment she walked in the bowling center today. I think she's just been a little frustrated. She has such high expectations for herself. She moved up a little bit. She got to plus 350 now. Standings just came in. Look at that. I've seen her miss a few of those this week, and that's not normal for her. Well, the gap is narrowing a bit between first and second. Amanda Green at plus 860, Erin McCarthy plus 725. So Amanda Green is kind of going the wrong way just a little bit.
Chipped off 32 pins. Yeah, Erin McCarthy has.
And Kelly Kulik is at plus 699, so she's 161 back in the lead. Shannon Plahowski at plus 603. And Shannon O'Keefe is 67 pins back. Sierra Restrepo 104 back.
What would Shannon O'Keefe give for those two wins earlier in this round against Kulik and Plahowski? She's had 730 bowled at her.
Yeah, she would be ahead of Plahowski because it's kind of basically a 60-pin swing.
Right.
And Rocio at 104 back, and Brittany Smith 161 back, and Stephanie Johnson 200 back. Everybody else more than 200 pins back now.
Yeah, that's pretty much a six horse race.
Seems like it. And another missed spare for Diana.
Yeah, I think what happens there is, you know you need strikes to get back into it. You miss striking, and then you take it for granted, and you're just not getting your full attention because spares aren't going to do it.
Bowler with the highest scratch total the first 3 games, Shannon O'Keefe 716, but she's only 1 and 2.
Right. Yeah, that's we were talking about. Had 730 bowled at her the first 3. And now Plahowski's got the front 5 against Restrepo, who's going to have 80 in the 5th. So
Shaden, front 5.
That's going to be another big turnaround.
Yeah, if you're in 6th, you don't want to lose to the person in 4th by too much, because that 104 back can become 230 pretty quick at the rate things are going.
She's down 80, almost 70.
You add those bonus pins to it, that's 100, and you go from being 104 off the show to being 204 in one game. I'll give them credit here at Sun Valley Lanes. They are, if there's a problem with the lane, the mechanic in the back is on it before it even gets called in, it seems like.
Yeah.
It's fast.
Yeah, Paul is doing a heck of a job.
Really good. John Lucido and the staff here are excellent. And we'll be back here next year for the World Youth Championships. All the best youth bowlers in the world are going to be coming to Lincoln, Nebraska. I'm not sure what all the youth bowlers think about that. I'm not sure that they probably have around the world. I'm guessing they don't even know where Lincoln, Nebraska is. But
it's the heartland.
Yeah. They're going to come out here. Enjoy the experience of...
What time of year are they coming?
It's the end of July and early August.
Okay.
So they're going to come and they're going to
Right around the
swelter in
same
the
time,
the heat.
Same time as it's been pretty nice.
It's not
since we've
terrible
been
here. No,
yeah.
it's been in 90. We don't go outside, so
That's true.
we stay inside.
By the time we get outside,
Yeah, we're
it's
lucky
nice.
if the sun is still out when we go outside. Well, a good run for Shaden, but it comes to an end with the split.
Howski's threatening to take that $1,000 bonus.
There's a $1,000 bonus this week?
Yes,
I
there
had
is.
no idea.
Yes, there
Where did that
is.
come from?
John Lucido is putting it up.
Nice. $1,000 for a 300 game?
Correct.
For the first 300
It's a
game?
pool. No, it's a pool.
Okay, so they would split it if
Correct, but
anybody
there
else
hasn't
had
been one
No,
yet,
there
so,
hasn't been one yet.
yeah.
Nice. That'd be a nice little bonus. She should give us each like $100 to stay away.
I agree. I've black clouded a few this week already. Amanda Green, the first game, had the front 8, I
Front
believe.
7 for the front 7.
Yeah.
Shot 279. So we'll keep you updated on what Plahowski does, but if you want to follow it on the live scoring, they are on 19 and 20. I think the women out here on tour, especially the ones who have made a lot of cuts and have bowled a lot of games, are starting to feel the effects of the grind of bowling on tour. I saw Liz Culkin complaining on, well, not complaining, but commenting on Facebook about how her hand is beat up. And
Yeah.
they're starting to hit the wall where it's more of a job than it is a dream now.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's a couple things to say about that. One is, if you can get going in the wrong direction, it gets awfully frustrating. It's hard to kind of shift gears and get yourself back, and your confidence. You have to manage your confidence just as much as you have to manage your game, your physical game. And then the other thing is, though, that the players that are really the thoroughbreds, the cream of the crop, they're starting to get sharp right now. And obviously the patterns have been difficult, and these players, as soon as they see any little bit of light, they're going to take advantage of it. And players like Kelly Kulik, we could bowl 16 games a day from now until eternity, and she'd be just fine.
But we're definitely getting into the grind of the season.
Sure.
Kind of the middle stretch here.
But you got someone like Plahowski, who this is her first cut.
Oh, she just rolled the 3 for the front 8. Yeah, it's her first cut since the Queens.
And she's fresh.
Yeah.
Fresh as a daisy.
She was craving to bowl more games.
Yes. Erin McCarthy, another one. She had a great Queens, but she hasn't made a cut since. And, obviously she's got high expectations.
I know some of the players electing to skip next week to have a week off. The limited field size anyway. Plahowski just shredded the rack again for the front 9. So she is closing in on perhaps a big payday. Nice bonus. And also, Plahowski is looking to put some distance between herself and fifth.
Yeah, and 300 and a win never hurts your score.
And O'Keefe hasn't had a double this game through 6 frames.
Yeah, she's ahead in the match and no open.
She just finally just doubled. So she's beating Amanda Green. O'Keefe can still strike out for 257 if she throws the last 5. But no matter what, she's going to lose ground to Pluhowski this game. Probably fall back to triple digits behind 4th place.
Yeah, because Kelly's got another big game going.
Kelly's in a little bit of a fight here with Carolyn, though. Carolyn up by a pin, 3 frames to go.
Carolyn's just getting better every week.
Yeah, she's making cuts, for sure. I'm not sure that she has performed as well as she would have liked in match play when she's made the cuts, but
I think
she's been close.
Yeah, I mean, she looked rusty at the beginning of the season to me. And it just, every week she's just gotten a little better, a little better, a little better. And, you know, she's made the last couple of finals.
Well, Amanda Green's giving back more pins this game. She just opened in the 8th. Got 130. She's going to lose.
Well, Kelly could sneak in, get a little closer. Erin McCarthy's got...
she's going to win, but she's going to be a 2-0.
Yeah.
Well, she most likely can win. Actually, it's tied against Brittany Smith, but they're not really lighting up the world either. It's Kelly, it's a good shot. I would not say that Erin is locked. I mean, that Amanda is locked into that top seed. She's coming backwards a little bit, and Kelly's starting to knock on the door. You don't want Kelly to get that door open at all, because she's going to barge through. But right now, Kelly's down by a pin with 2 frames to go, despite bowling a big game. By the way, we haven't forgotten about Shannon Pluhowski. She hasn't bowled yet. Rocio finishing up in the 190s in that match. The ball reaction looking pretty good right now.
What a great match.
Yeah, one of the higher scoring matches we've seen. With the tough patterns this season, we haven't had a whole lot of high scoring matches. Jason's going to try to get us a look at the at Pluhowski. Watch Carolyn bowl here. Great shot out of Carolyn to maintain the lead. Let's flip it over. You can see Pluhowski off in the distance. Gets the strike. And I would imagine that, Jason, you're going to go over and try to get a better angle with your iPhone if he gets there, because we always like to have those for Facebook, because everybody likes to see a 300 game.
Yes, they do, especially if it's a $1,000 bonus.
Yeah, $1,000 300 game.
But I'm gonna go in there at the last possible second so she can
Can't complain.
Sneak in. Yeah.
Oh, big shot here for Carolyn. 3 strikes in the 10th. She'll lock up the win against Kulik by 1. She gets the first one. And And there's Pluhowski off in the distance. Nope. 247, a good run. It's going to be in the 280s and expand her lead pretty significantly. She'll go plus 117 this game, and O'Keefe plus 56.
Yeah, that was big. That's a big deal. And you know, as a player, you love having that cushion.
So a big shot here for Carolyn. 2 more strikes. She shuts out Kelly Kulik. Erin McCarthy defeated Brittany Smith by 1 pin, by the way. 198 to 197. Carolyn's going to shoot 270 with a strike on the fill.
Yeah, it's a big fill ball here. If she gets 9, Kelly's going to have a chance to tie. 8, Kelly will have a chance to win.
Carolyn in 13th place at plus 328, so she shoots 270, wins, puts her at plus 428, which would be a good jump, except for the fact that Shannon Pluhowski just shot 287,
yeah.
So she doesn't gain any ground on 4th. She loses ground on 4th.
Right, but it could get her in the top 10.
Yes, certainly. So a strike for the shutout for Carolyn. Anything less, there'll be some bonus pins out there for Kelly to try to take. Yeah, Carolyn doesn't want to give her any opportunity.
Bang.
Take those 30 bonus pins with a 270. Certainly, 270 a great score this week. 270 a great score this season. In any of the events.
Right.
So now Kelly, the only thing she can do is try to get all 3 here, shoot 269. And 269 here. She still gains a little bit of ground on Shannon O'Keefe, who's in the 5th position. But Shannon Pluhowski looks like she's going to go around her potentially. Kelly gets the strike. Shannon Pluhowski gets to plus 720, so Kelly will stay ahead of her by a bit. It's tough to lose a game when you shoot 269. That's going to win 90% of the games, maybe more than that.
Probably more, yeah.
Maybe 95, 98.
Yeah, you said 270 was a good score, on tour this year. It's a good score in any tournament, anytime, really. I mean, 269, not too shabby either.
It's a big game for some of our 3rd and 4th place players.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is probably the biggest game that anybody's lost all day.
I would have to say you're probably right about that. Good finish. Kelly Kulik 269, but it's not enough. Carolyn shoots 270. But like I said, 269 plus 69 is more than the plus 50 something that Shannon O'Keefe had, and Shannon was in 5th, so that means our gap between 4th and 5th just got even bigger.
Well, the other thing too is that this is going to be our championship pair, so if it's
I hope we have scores like that.
High scoring, yeah, then it could be, we could be in for an exciting finals.
We had pretty good scores last week.
Every week the scores in the championship finals have been pretty good. Even when the patterns have played tough, we've had really good scores in the finals.
All right, game 5 coming up. Rocio Restrepo against Brittany Smith. Catherine Sutphin against Jackie Carbonetto. All right, ready to get started. Game 5. Sutphin will start things off for us. Be interesting to see what the standings look like after 24 games. Should be coming in soon. Got Pluhowski against Green this round, or this match. That's an interesting matchup. Keep you updated on that one if you want to follow it on the live scoring. It's on 29 and 30. All right, updated standings, and as we expected, a big gap between 4th and 5th. First place is Amanda Green at plus 844. Kelly Kulik inching closer and closer at plus 768. Erin McCarthy at plus 753, and Shannon Pluhowski at plus 720. So now only 124 pins separates the top 4, which is much tighter than it was earlier today. And then 128 pins. Shannon O'Keefe is back of 4th. And then a huge jump to 223 for Restrepo, back with 4 games to go. Those are pretty significant numbers. That just shows you that the top 4 have really dominated here today, and Shannon O'Keefe is hanging on by a thread.
Yeah, she's still got a chance, but I mean, you can see how quickly it can turn around. We saw 3 games of 269 or better in front of us last game. So it's there, but no, the whole field isn't shooting 260 every
Right.
game. So
Seems like it's the ones who are at the top.
right.
Big game between Pluhowski and Green this game, down on 29 and 30. As there is the potential for that gap between 1st and 4th to get even closer if Shannon puts up a big game against Amanda.
And this is where, Amanda's led the whole tournament. She's kind of had her way with pretty much everything all week. And now she's, for the first time, kind of being challenged, and we'll see how she responds to it. The feeling you get out there as a player is that you're being hunted. And when you see, players like Kelly Kulik and Shannon Pluhowski and Erin McCarthy breathing down your neck, you get a little uncomfortable.
And I would guess that for Amanda, anything less than the top seed, with the way that she has led, would be a disappointment.
You'd have to say, for sure.
And may take a hit to her confidence. She already had some shaky confidence coming into this tournament with her up and down performances. And, she's had some weeks where she's bowled really well in the first block of qualifying and then missed the cut.
Yeah, one week she was 3rd after the first round, and she didn't get a check.
Yeah. So I don't know that she had the most confidence she's ever had coming into this week. You don't want to feel like you're giving it away. You want to be in that number 1 spot to only have to bowl 1 game in the stepladder. She's still in the lead, but each game it gets closer and closer. It was 181 pins between 1st and 2nd this morning when we started, and now it is down to 76. So she's given back more than 100 pins.
And it's a little bit of a shock to the system too when you've been leading by 200 all day, and then you shoot a 180 and everybody behind you shoots 270.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden now you're only up by 70 or 80 pins, and you go, wow, my lead could be gone in 1 more game.
I had some tweets coming in, and one of them was criticizing what you said about Amanda Green, Jason.
Oh, what did I say about Amanda Green?
At Mr. Straight Ball says, "Can we really say long legs when the person is 5'5"?" Maybe she has a short torso. I don't know. Bowler Little, Summer Night, and Good Company. Watching apparently Carolyn and Kelly, and Ryan Graham was commenting on the outstanding match between Kelly and CDB in that last round. That was certainly a highlight for the day on our live streaming. Was that 270-269 win by Carolyn against Kelly Kulik.
Yeah, that was a great match.
And really, among the bowlers on our featured pairs this round, Rocio is the closest to the top four at 223 back. She's bowling Brittany Smith, who's 281 pins back. Brittany Smith from Des Moines, Iowa. Good college bowler. Des Moines is hosting the Iowa State Fair this week, where every presidential candidate is currently at the fair eating deep fried Snickers. I saw that on the news the other day.
Maybe they'll all die.
So I'm guessing that Brittany is glad she took this weekend to come to bowl because they don't have to see that or deal with that madness.
Spectacle.
The spectacle of all that
Hopefully
happening.
Donald Trump's there.
I wouldn't surprise me. Actually, he has jury duty, I saw, on Monday,
wow.
so he might be a little busy. Can you imagine having Donald Trump on a jury? There's
No.
a 0% chance he's going to get picked. Too much of a spectacle.
Wow.
He'd fire everybody. You're guilty. You're fired.
That's not the way it works, Donald.
No,
sorry.
You're not in control here. It would be fun to have the Donald show up at a bowling tournament, though, wouldn't it?
Sure.
That'd be interesting.
Sure. He's a big golf
Yes.
fan. Yeah.
Yes. I saw that. He owns a lot of golf courses.
Yeah. He's a good golfer as well.
We need to get him turned on to bowling so he can give us some of his billions, support the PWBA tour.
Sure. I'd even vote for him for president if that were.
We don't need much. A few million would do it. Get us on TV.
I don't think the Mexican and Colombian players would appreciate it very much.
Maybe not.
But,
Yeah. That ends the political discussion portion of our show today.
Thank you.
Go ahead and end that before we get a text message saying stop talking about politics on the live streaming. Shannon Plahowski just left a split for an open. She's got 125 in the sixth against Amanda Green. Amanda with a slight lead. Shannon O'Keefe is bowling Carolyn Doran Ballard this match. I think at this point, O'Keefe is just hoping to have a chance in the last game to maybe sneak in
Those
somehow.
matches she lost by no fault of her own really hurt her.
She got one of the highest scratch totals this afternoon, but has only got 2 wins to show for it because she lost to Kelly and she lost to Shannon Plahowski. So just shows you how important those matches are, especially when it's 2 players who are in the hunt to make the top 4, because it can be a 60-pin swing. Rocio's got to put her striking shoes on for the back half of this block if she wants to make the show. I mean, 223 pins is a lot to make up in 8 games, let alone 4.
Yeah, she's going to need a couple 270s and then just keep striking. But it's there. I mean, it's out there. You can strike.
Yeah, it's hard because I've heard that pair to pair the bowlers say this about every center. Pair to pair, they're pretty different. So every game you move and you might give away the first couple of frames while you try to get matched up. And so it makes it hard to really make up a lot of ground. In some respects, that makes it a little easier for somebody like Shannon Pluhowski, who has zero traffic on her side of the lane. So
Right.
she doesn't have to really worry about, how the lanes are broken down pair to pair. There may be some variations, I would think, but I don't know that it's as drastic as it is on the right side.
Right.
I'm not left-handed, so I couldn't tell you. But that would be my guess, my assumption. There are always, of course, pluses and minuses of being left-handed. And the plus is, if it's good on the left side, it generally is going to stay good because there's not a lot of traffic. And the minuses are, if they're tough on the left side, you don't have anybody to help you break them down. It gets hard to put something together.
Yeah.
But Shannon shows you how well she's bowled this week. There's only, how many lefties in the field this week? 5, 6?
That's what I was just going to say. There aren't really a lot of lefties bowling. 6, 7 has been kind of the average every week out here.
And I would say that Pluhowski probably is the premier left-handed bowler on the tour.
You would say so. I mean, obviously Tish Johnson's
Johnson,
the most accomplished, but
the Hall of Famer. But
Shannon, didn't have that opportunity to bowl on tour, so she's only been on Team USA 15 straight years. You'd assume she'd had a pretty good pro career.
So if you're left-handed and you're watching, please come out and bowl. I'd love to see more lefties competing. Still have every event is sold out the rest of the way with the exception of the U.S. Women's Open. So if you'd like to come out and bowl in that event, there's still plenty of spots available. Thankfully, we've got an 82-lane center to go to for that tournament, so we've got lots of capacity, more capacity than we could ever dream to fill, I think.
Well, that should fill because it's going to pay $50,000 for first.
Yeah, I know, right?
Right.
It's the numbers are starting to go up in terms of the entries.
It's going to be on television.
More and more every week.
It's 1.5 times the points, and it's your last chance to get in that top 16 for the tour championship.
So if you'd like to enter the U.S. Women's Open, you can go to bowl.com/US Open. Entries are open for the men's, or the Open U.S. Open, I guess I should say, because it's open to men and women.
Correct. I always make that mistake myself.
It's not a men's-only tournament. It's an open tournament.
I'm kind of curious to see how many, now that we have the ladies tour, how many of the ladies decide to bowl the U.S. Open in November.
I would not be surprised to see quite a few.
Yeah, why not? There's no conflict in the schedule, so it would allow. I would assume the same women that have been bowling the U.S. Open will bowl, and maybe a few more. The other thing about the U.S. Open is that you don't have to score all that high to make the cut.
It's been like that every tournament this season.
Right.
But yeah, generally the lane condition, we don't announce lane conditions in advance, but generally the U.S. Open has a history of having a flatter, tougher pattern. And it's at Brunswick Zone Carolier. If you'd like to enter the Pro-Am, we'd love to have you for the Pro-Am. If you're anywhere near the New Jersey, New York metro area, good opportunity to come out and bowl with the stars.
Yeah, it's you're guaranteed to bowl 3 days.
Yeah, if you bowl the tournament, yeah.
8 games a day, so 24 games. A lot of bowling. Great prize fund. As I mentioned, $50,000 first place check to the winner.
It's a lot of moolah.
It is.
Pluhowski is finishing strong. 243. And she will pick up the win against Amanda Green, who can only shoot 236. And Shannon O'Keefe can go 228 this game and win if she strikes out. So it looks like no matter what, Shannon Plahowski has added to the gap between 4th and 5th. Of course, you don't know what Erin McCarthy's bowled.
Oh, and Amanda Green's going to open in the 10th and shoot 2-0. She could have struck out for 236.
Kelly is bowling Erin down on 11 and 12.
Low scoring match there.
Yeah.
And we mentioned Rocio needed a couple of 260s or 270s, and she's got a possible 260 this game.
She needs somebody in that top 4, though, to start working their way backwards.
Yeah, the only one that's really struggling in the top 4 is Amanda Green, who had a 300-pin lead earlier.
Exactly. Well, Plahowski just went plus 73 to get to 793. And Amanda Green is now at 842. So,
Wow.
just like that, she's within, I mean, basically when you get to 30 or 40 pins, it's virtually nothing because of the bonus pins.
Right.
So that was a huge win for Plahowski, and things really tightening up amongst the top 4. We only have a few games to go, too.
Yeah, it's almost like a basketball team that's got a 10-point lead with 3 minutes left, and they just want the clock to run out.
Yeah.
You know, it's.
I'm sure those 4 would like if it just ended now.
Yeah, yeah. But you got to keep going. You got to keep your foot on the gas.
Well, the good news for Shannon O'Keefe is that Kulik and McCarthy are bowling each other, so only one of them can get 30 bonus pins.
Right.
That helps a little bit. And they're not really lighting up the world
Sure.
down there.
Brittany Smith, a very talented player. We saw her shoot 300 at the Queens earlier this year. And bowling as a guest this week, taking home some cash.
Yeah, she's made a good run, but she's going to come up short of advancing onto the show. She's going to be too far behind with not enough games left. We'll keep you updated on what Shannon O'Keefe does in the 10th frame. She could strike out for 228 and win against Dorn Ballard. At this point, O'Keefe needs to get every pin she possibly can. Well, Erin McCarthy and Kelly Kulik are both going to be at about 2-0.
Yeah, Kelly needs a double just to get there. Actually, so does Aaron.
O'Keefe just got a strike, first shot in the 10th. Rocio can strike out for 248. Shannon got the double. He's going to put her at 228. Aaron McCarthy's going to be in the 190s. Closing out the final few shots of this game, Shannon O'Keefe with the strike on the fill for 228. She beats Carolyn 202. And final shots coming up here for Sutphin and Restrepo. Jason Thomas, thanks for sitting in a little bit. We'll have John Lucido coming on in a minute.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what happens. It's going to be an exciting. We don't know who's. We kind of know who the top four are going to be, with the exception of O'Keefe maybe getting in there, but we have no clue what the order is. So looking forward to seeing that, and then having an exciting stepladder tonight.
All right, Jason. We'll see you later. .220, 206 up and defeats Carbonetto. Two more games to go before we have our position round game coming up. Joined now by the wonderful proprietor here this week,
I am so honored to
John Lucido.
be here with you, Lucas.
Now, I have heard that you have offered $1,000 for the 300 game pool this week. Is that correct? Oh, he has it in his pocket.
Here it is, buddy, right here.
Is there any truth to the rumor that if there is no 300, that comes directly to the live stream booth?
That was almost the rumor.
Oh.
That was so close. It was that the money comes right to the casino with me tomorrow. I think that's actually the real rumor.
That's probably where the money came from to begin with.
That's quite probable.
All right, so we've got Shannon Plahowski against Kelly Kulick coming up. That should be a great matchup. Brandy Branca against Diana Zafielova. Well, John, it's got to be a real treat to have these ladies come to visit you here in Lincoln, right?
Absolutely wonderful thing here, Lucas. I mean, people, unless you see it or, are really aware of what's going on in bowling, you don't appreciate what they really do. I mean, it's absolutely a phenomenal event. The number of customers that have stopped me in the last 24 hours to say, God, John, thank you for bringing this. This is just a wonderful event, and I had no idea, from different people and league bowlers and people from outstate and high school coaches and stuff. It's nice. I mean, it's really, what bowling's about, and people really should take a moment to appreciate the pros that we have, both male and female, really, in our industry.
Here at Sun Valley Lanes in Lincoln, Nebraska, you did a renovation not too long ago, huh? It looks pretty nice in here. It looked nice before, but...
Yeah, I was kind of on a 3-year plan. I don't know if you remember, Lucas, here in 2012, I did the sidewalls, got them done, and then when you came back in 2013, of course, that part had been done, and we did this on the concourse last summer, leveled it out and made it all ADA compliant and nice and flat, and expanded the bowlers area by a couple feet. I have a 17-foot bowlers area.
Nice.
Yeah, so if you're bowling league here, it's actually, quite nice. And then I finished with the arcade and the concourse renovation just 3 weeks ago. We got the last bricks in on the pillars and got it all up and running, and the arcade's doing rather well, and people really like it. The open bowlers, of course, have just taken to it right away. The league people come back next week. League start next Tuesday, so we'll see how that goes.
I'm guessing a lot of your league bowlers have been in here this week to watch some of the competition, so they're getting a look at the new fresh look here at Sun Valley Lanes.
Yeah, there some great compliments already from the customers, the team captains, that were out Tuesday and Wednesday, and several of them, we talked about the tournament coming up. Don't forget, and several have been here and have just been so appreciative of the fact that I reminded them, because, by the time we got the schedule all up and running, most of the fall or the winter leagues last season were done. So we missed, getting to the crux of our customers. But the summer people were here, and we did a bunch of electronic media postings and updates and stuff, and USBC did some great work with us, some help in getting the word out, and it was, I'm going to say, extremely successful. I mean, you were here all day yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
The number of people that were here was...
it was great.
Yeah, it was surprising to me, too. So.
Yeah, we've had great turnouts at all the events so far this season that we've had. I think a lot of the fans were craving the opportunity to watch the best women in the world compete. I haven't had that opportunity for a long time.
Yeah, for a decade or so?
Yeah, 12 years.
Yeah, it's been very, very missed in our industry. And it's just great to see. I mean, you look out there, look across the center. I mean, watching the scores yesterday, I was like, dear Lord, it's going to be a wonderful final. And you see the talent that's out here right now, and it's just amazing.
Well, we've only got a few games to go. We've got one more game after this game ends before the position round, and then our stepladder finals coming up at 6:30, where John Lucido is going to be handing out some televisions, I hear.
Yeah, that's true. I probably better explain that when people are wondering what's happening. Every year I do a customer appreciation party, and it normally times up with this weekend or the weekend before, and we decided this summer to team the two together, so all my league customers are invited out. We try to get them out this afternoon, said come on out to the event, I'll pay for your ticket to get in, and they're going to get some free food from 5 to 6, and then every match we're going to draw a winner for a TV. I give away prizes, and we're going to do a free country night when bowling's over after the tournament, so it'll be glow bowling with country music, and they can stay and enjoy that as well. And usually I have maybe 10 to, maybe 15 to 20% actually of my league customers will come out for it. So hopefully we'll have a lot of people here later, and we can entertain them with some great bowling during the finals. And if they happen to win a TV, they win a TV. So as the loser is eliminated from the match, we're going to ask them to draw a winning number.
Okay.
So they will, hopefully be over the disappointment of, being knocked out of the event, but they'll be quickly lightened with the fact that they'll be a very happy customer when they draw their name. So
somebody's going to get a TV, I guess, from your league bowler pool.
Yep. There'll be 5 of them tonight. So
nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty exciting. We'll have some excitement in the crowd. We've had good crowds for the stepladder finals each week.
Yeah, and I'm going to guess that this will be no different. So
yeah, should be good. Let's see if we've got an update yet on the standings. Yes, we do. And Amanda Green's still in the lead, but it gets closer and closer each game. She's now only up by 49 on Shannon Pluhowski, who's moved up to second. Kelly Kulik is third at plus 781. Aaron McCarthy at plus 734. And Shannon O'Keefe still holding on to hope to make the finals, 84 pins back. And then Rosia Restrepo 159 back with 3 to go.
Lucas, 3 of the players look like they're wanting that money. I think I pulled it out of my pocket and might have gotten a little whiff of it. Thought, wow.
Yeah, it's like Shannon Pulowski was pretty close a couple of games ago.
Yeah.
Had the front 10.
Yep.
287. I think that's the closest we've been.
We had a 289.
Oh, did we?
Yesterday? Or no? Yes. We did a front 10, 289. I'm trying to think who it was.
So
It'll come to me in a
we've
minute.
been close a couple of times. As John desperately wants to give away that $1,000.
Hey, nothing would make me happier than making one of these girls' days. It's kind of like being like Bob Barker.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly. Come on down. Here's your $1,000. Well, it'd be nice to see. How about if we have one in the stepladder? Wouldn't that be pretty cool?
That would be extremely cool.
Have one for the title, 300 for the title. It doesn't happen very often.
Yeah,
but
no,
you never
no.
know.
And I'm actually thinking about possibly upping the limit a little bit.
Oh,
upping the
nice.
ante. I think that'd be kind of fun too.
That would
Customers
be.
are going to win. Why not let the players win too?
Sure.
Right?
And you've got another big event coming in here next year. You probably don't even want to think about it yet, but World Youth Championships.
I lose sleep thinking about that event.
As well, you should.
Thank you.
It's a big event.
You're helping the matter, Lucas.
It's a great event. We live streamed last year from Hong Kong, that event, and draws players from all over the world. I'm not sure that many of them even know where Lincoln, Nebraska is, but they'll learn quickly.
When you stop and think, it was 2008 was Orlando, 2010 was Helsinki, 2012 was Bangkok, 2014 was Hong Kong,
Yep.
and 2016 is Lincoln, Nebraska. You look at that list and you say, well, yeah, remember the thing on Sesame Street, one of these things and not like the other? But it's been pretty neat from my side of it. The city is taking a pretty good embrace on the deal. As a matter of fact, the State Tourism Board, I met with them the other day, and they were really excited about the deal and want to give me some money to market the program. And we're hoping that we can get some community involvement. With the University of Nebraska here, just 5 minutes from the center, we know that we have a bunch of foreign language groups that are at the university, so we're going to try to make contact with them and see if they'll come over here and kind of support their home countries, because Nebraska is pretty well known for an agricultural development leadership in the worldwide economy. When it comes to, obviously, we grow a lot of. Anybody want to take a guess what we grow a lot of? Lucas, can you do it?
I know, because I've driven this state many times. Lots and lots of corn.
Lots of corn. So.
Well, one thing that worked well in Hong Kong is that each country was assigned a liaison that helped to
kind of
guide them
around.
and if they had any problems or they wanted to know what to do or whatever,
We're hoping to do the same type of thing here. We did something similar to that with the collegiate nationals that were here. We kind of had a host family. Matter of fact, there's a young man in the crowd named Isaac Skalick. These are around here somewhere. He was the host family of that school will come to me in a minute also. Someplace down there, Kentucky.
Pikeville?
Pikeville. Yes, thank you very
Welcome.
much. Yeah. And one of the girls was here, and they were having a good time, and it's really kind of fun to see. So it was a great thing. Lucas, we're almost halfway. Oh, kiss of death. Never mind. Sorry.
Yeah, Diana with the 10
My
pin.
bad.
Right when you said something. Pulhowski's got the front three. Wouldn't it be ironic if somebody shot 300 on the live stream pairs when the game that you're here with the $1,000 in your pocket?
We're just ready to go. That would be rather ironic, actually. Let's see what happens.
Well, we still got 2 players in the hunt.
To watch the bowling and knowing what they're bowling on, it's really impressive. I mean, we don't, it's, bowling is a little bit tainted in that respect. Sometimes people, especially the general public, might not completely understand that aspect of it and how difficult it is, let alone, Lucas, when you think about the fact that they bowled literally all day yesterday.
Yes, they did.
All day. I mean, at 7 o'clock, the lanes came on, and several of these girls that are bowling right now were here practicing. They bowl all day with not much of a break, and then they stay, and they were unbelievably gracious with my pro-am bowlers last night. The number of compliments has just been, again, I mean, I don't want to say I'm surprised because I'm not, but it's great to see, how these ladies are selling themselves and, putting bowling in such a great positive light for people that have never had the opportunity to experience one. And, it's kind of funny, too, Lucas, it's pro-am, I think what's pretty obvious to me in bowling. And the number of people that I had to explain what a pro-am was surprising
Really?
to me. And I started thinking about it. I thought, well, obviously, this tour has not been on for 12 years, and we haven't had the PWBA national tour here in this part of the country, the general 3 or 4 or 5 hour radius around Lincoln in years and years and years. So I suppose it's possible, and you just kind of lose sight of that.
Yeah, the PBA really, over the years, has not traveled to as many cities as it used to in the PWBA.
Not the national tour.
Not the national
The
tour.
regional
Yep.
and the senior tour are doing just wonderful things. But
And the women's tour has been gone, so
yep.
not as many opportunities to bowl pro-ams, I guess, as there once was.
Yeah. So to educate people on that, it didn't even occur to me, but there was people we had to educate. So, and I've had a multitude of people say, "John, you're doing this again next year," and I said, "Well, I don't know yet. These guys are just trying to get through this season, and a quick startup." You stop and think about that too. How it was approved less than a year ago by both organizations, and now all of a sudden we're sitting here today with a professional tour. It's pretty amazing. I mean, to start something up like that after it's been more than a decade, my hat's off to Jason and to Damon for doing the best that they can, and Caitlin down there, at headquarters, getting all the stuff going, and Myron's been out here, and of course, Kathy Watka is kind of nice to see. You see her out here too, so they're doing all they can. So that's a great thing, and have 80 gals out here of just great caliber is just a great thing to see. So.
Well, only one bowler has the opportunity right now on featured pairs, and that's Shannon Blahowski, who gave you a scare earlier.
She did, and knowing that young lady, and obviously she bowled here at Nebraska.
Yeah.
I'm very familiar with Shannon and her capabilities, so I'm not letting that money get comfortable in my pocket yet. As I say that.
Looks like it's safe for another game, perhaps. Let's see if there's
Perhaps.
anybody else. Doesn't look like anybody else. Nope, that was it. She was the last one that had a chance this game.
2 more games left.
And then the step ladder, yeah.
And the step ladder, yes.
Well,
Speaking
Blahowski seems like she's kind of cementing herself in the top 4 for sure, and even has a chance to maybe be the top seed.
Yeah, I can't take anything for granted.
Oh, Amanda Green is the front 6. I just
Oh,
didn't
jeez,
notice
now here
that.
we go.
Still has a chance.
Lucas is going to be the one that's going to cause this to happen. I really thought for sure when she rolled the 3-pin there the last game, I don't know if you saw that or not. She tripped the 3-pin
I did see that, yes.
in like the 8th frame or 7th
Yeah.
or 8th, and I was like, yeah, that's it. That's usually a sign. Watching somebody get that one lucky break usually happens. So Diana almost made the 7-10.
Yeah, she almost made it there. Seems like pins can pop around a little bit here.
Yeah, it's a running joke that I'll buy you ice cream if you can make the 7-10. And you saw the 2-10 made early first thing this morning. I saw that myself. I was like, that was rare that it was made that way. And then my pro shop guy, Dwayne DeMode, said, was that the same lane that the kid made the 8-10 on when we had the high school event here? And I said, that's a good question for Lucas.
Might be. I didn't do that event. But
Yeah,
I think Jason Overstreet was here for that.
I think you're right. Jason was here, but it literally could have been the same lane.
Well, Amanda Green left a 4-pin in the 7th, so
Now, hey, there's still a couple more games left. Anything's possible.
I think I should get 10% every time I cloud somebody.
Yeah, between your 10% and Damon's 10% and my assistant manager's 10% trying to film them, it's I might as well just give the money away anyway.
Well, it's important that Amanda Green is bowling a good game this game to try to keep ahead of Blahowski, because at 49 pins, it's virtually nothing when you consider 30 bonus pins for a win. So,
Well, Kelly's struggling some this game, which kind of surprises me. And I don't know if Shannon's. Yeah, I haven't seen Shannon anywhere.
yeah, O'Keefe is down on 3 and 4, I believe. She's got 145 of the 8,
Oh,
so she's
yeah.
not doing a whole lot.
No, that might have been an opportunity for her to gain some ground based on Kelly's kind of pacing 180, 190 somewhere there.
But Shannon is winning the game, though. So,
Oh. Oh yeah, Brittany's struggling down there too. Is that a 4-count split? It
Yeah.
is a 4-count split.
Aaron McCarthy is really the one that O'Keefe needs to
Watch out for.
tank it a little bit. And Aaron is bowling okay. Nothing great. 190 pace.
Yeah,
But getting run over by Amanda Green.
she's a pretty amazing gal too.
Yeah, she spent a little bit of time at Nebraska and then went to Midland,
Yep.
which is down the road in Fremont.
I remember watching her at the what was the North Point High School Championship years ago, and knew right then I thought, wow, that girl can play.
Pretty high-scoring game here between Brandy and Diana.
Diana just didn't get the kick there out of the gutter. That light pocket shot, pin bounced around, but just didn't take out that 7.
Kelly looked pretty dialed in earlier, and now she seems to have hit a little bit of a rough patch in this game. Looks like she's going to the bag and probably going to change balls. Hard to tell. She's definitely looking at the options or taking them back to the... maybe she's just taking them back to the locker room and saying
locker room?
she's not going to use those the rest of the day, would be my guess. Howski continuing to bowl well. Max out at 279 this game, which is exactly what Amanda Green can shoot.
Aaron's struggling a little bit over there too, looks like. Yeah.
Yeah, that Shannon O'Keefe just split in the 9th. So this would be Shannon's game to make up some ground on Aaron, but it's just not happening.
Nope.
Well, it seems like our final position round game, which is 2 games away, may come down to the drama might be who gets the top seed.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
Could be Shannon versus Amanda for the top seed, and then 3-4 should be pretty close to set if it continues this way.
Well, you've been planned it here for the last 2 days. How's this TV pair been playing?
Well, a couple of games ago, Carolyn beat Kelly 270 to 269, which was the highest match I've seen all season.
Yeah, I was going to say it's got to be the highest one here.
Scores have been pretty decent. Pretty high score in this game, too.
Yeah, historically we use 27 and 28 as our TV pair. But based on the remodel, this was a much better area to do the bleachers on both sides and have you set up here.
Are you going to take any bleachers out on the sides at all?
Yeah, the two bleachers from the low ends, we're going to make a U here, some way, shape, or form on the approach. We'll put a bleacher on each side. Ew.
It was a fill ball.
That's okay.
232. And Brandy will need the first one, and good count to win the game. Amanda Green just threw her first strike in the 10th to get in the 260s for sure. She's led the whole tournament, doesn't want to give up that top seed now
No,
in the final game.
She's going from wire to wire. It's nothing worse than giving that up in the last frame or two.
Shannon O'Keefe, open, 162. That's brutal at this stage of the tournament.
Yes.
Rocio Restrepo was 159 pins back.
And how's she doing?
Let's see. She can shoot 250.
Yeah.
257 and win against Carolyn. It's not set in stone though, because Carolyn can shoot 236. Kelly's turned it up a little bit here towards the end of this game. Trips that 4-pin forward for 4 in a row. Get her to 213. So a good save this game for Kulik, especially considering that the bowlers behind her are not bowling so well. She'll actually gain a little bit of ground.
Oh, look at that.
Yep. Could have a tie.
Mm-hmm. Not the spare I'd like to shoot at for a tie either, actually. 2-4-5.
Yeah, we haven't had a tie yet. Unfortunately for both of these players, they're a little bit too far down in the standings for it to really matter. But she does need to make the 2-4-5 for the tie now. 268. is what Amanda Green ended up with. Erin McCarthy just got 6 first shot in the 10th. She's going to be in the 160s, 170s. She makes it for the tie, 232 apiece. First tie of the day. And Kelly strikes out in the 10th for 213. So if Pluhowski strikes out here for 279, she actually picks up 11 pins on Amanda. And would only be 38 back with 2 to go.
And with 30 pins on a win.
Ooh. Yeah, that would. They both won, so no.
Yeah, so no
But,
washes,
yeah.
but later.
But now this washout changes things a little bit because now she's going to lose ground. Because Amanda shot 268 and Shannon only gets 3 here. 240s. She's going to lose 20 pins or so.
But I wouldn't put it past her that she makes this.
Yeah, you would
Of course,
expect that,
you know.
that she would. Or not. 241, 213, so a good game for Pluhowski, but she loses 27 pins on Green, which pushes Amanda Green's lead up to 76 with 2 games to go. So a little tiny bit of breathing room for Amanda with 2 games left. Well, John, I'm sure you have things to do around the bowling center, so feel free to stop by and flash your $100 bills some more.
Anytime, Lucas.
And drop off some chocolate, whatever you feel like you want to do.
Got it.
We'll see you tonight for the finals.
Thank you for having me,
All right.
Lucas.
Thanks, John. John Lucido, proprietor here at Sun Valley Lanes in Lincoln, Nebraska, as we prepare for game number 7. I'm going to have Carbonetto against Shaden. And 25 and 26 to be determined. Erin McCarthy ended up at 170 that game. And Restrepo going to be at 215 as they are still finishing up down there on 11 and 12. Last game to finish. Carolyn will have a chance to jump ahead of her and take the win this game, and that would be a pretty tough blow to Rowe's chances. If Rocio wins the game, she'd pick up 75 pins on Erin McCarthy and basically cut the deficit in half with 2 to go. She'd still be down 80 plus. But with 2 games left, that would be attainable. So this is our final game before the position round to close out match play here this week. As soon as we have an update, we'll let you know on the standings. We have a pretty good idea of where things stand. Amanda Green should have the lead by about 80 or so, and then Shannon Plahowski second, Kelly Kulik third, Aaron McCarthy fourth. Looks like that is correct. Got Amanda Green at plus 940, Shannon Plahowski at plus 864, Kelly Kulik plus 794, and Aaron McCarthy at plus 704. Shannon O'Keefe is currently 92 pins off the show. Rocio Restrepo 115 pins off the show. And those are probably the only two players with a chance to make it in. It seems like our top three is pretty well set. Fourth place might be up for grabs. We'll just have to wait and see. Tonight for the stepladder finals at 6:30 p.m. Central Time, we'll have Deandra Asbady as our special guest commentator this week. Looks like Aaron McCarthy is bowling Shannon Plahowski this game. Down on 7 and 8. Amanda Green is bowling Kelly Kulik, so our top four are all bowling each other, which actually might be good news for Shannon O'Keefe. By the way, and Shannon O'Keefe is bowling Rocio Restrepo, so it's almost like a position round this game with our top six bowlers bowling each other. More than likely, Shannon O'Keefe and Rocio Restrepo would bowl each other twice here at the end, the last two games. So I think that actually should add even more definition to what's going on here The fact that they are all bullying each other this game. You've got number 1 versus number 3 this game, and number 2 versus number 4, and number 5 versus number 6. Just coincidence. Position round will be coming up next. And our stepladder about 2.5 hours away. Things kind of stay the way they are now. Seems like the only drama we will have will be who will be the first and who will be the second seed. Half a game to go until we get to our position round. Brief break after this game ends before we fire up for the position round game to close out match play and finalize our seedings for tonight. Aaron McCarthy's got 3 in a row, down on 7 and 8. 4 in a row now. And she has, looks like a 20-pin lead on Shannon Pluhowski with 3 frames to go. Restrepo and O'Keefe kind of sputtering this game. No doubles, but no opens in the 5th frame. Amanda Green trailing by a few pins against Kelly Kulick after 6 frames, down by 7 to be exact. Well, looks like Shannon O'Keefe has turned it up a notch. 3 strikes in a row, down on 15 and 16. So we'll see how it finishes out. Shannon could strike out 263 this game. That would help her to make up some ground on McCarthy. McCarthy can still shoot 236 though and win. Shannon O'Keefe still striking. 5 in a row now. And she is trying to make it a very interesting finish here. It seems like if she can strike out, she's still going to have a sniff at the top 4 going into the last game. Live scoring is your friend right now at pwba.com/live. You want to check that out. Looks like Erin McCarthy went 215. Actually, Puchowski can strike out to beat her by 1, and that would be really huge for Shannon O'Keefe, actually. Because Shannon O'Keefe can go 263 and win. She strikes out 9th and 10th. That would put her at plus 93, and she would be very close to Erin McCarthy going into the last game. So things have to go right for O'Keefe here at the end of this game. O'Keefe bowling right now in the 9th. Just got a strike. But Shannon O'Keefe is Shannon Puchowski's biggest fan right now. And it looks like Puchowski did not strike first shot in the 10th. So that is a big win for Erin McCarthy. She goes plus 45 this game. 30 pins for the win, plus 15 on the game. O'Keefe with another big strike. Puts her in the 250s. She's going to make up some serious ground this game regardless. O'Keefe did not strike second shot in the 10th. She got 7, 2, 4, 5 it looks like. It looks like she's going to be right at 250. So I think O'Keefe is going to be down 57 to McCarthy.
Did you turn in your sheet? I did. Damon was down by us.
All right, so position round coming up next. Stand by. We'll have a little bit of practice once they get the scores verified. And our final game of match play coming up in just a few minutes here on Bowl TV on Extra Frame from the PWBA Lincoln Open.
Then we'll begin our position round. It'll start on lanes 23 and 24, up here by our live stream pair and our step ladder final pair. So just a few minutes, and then we'll come right back out for game number 8, which will determine our top 4 for tonight's step ladder finals. If we could have all match play finalists, please report to the lounge for a brief roll call. All match play finalists before position round to the lounge for roll call. Thank you.
Quite the difference in music choices.
Okay, bowling fans, here we go. We've made it official. Our big board is updated at the low end of the house. In first place, Amanda Green, averaging better than 227 so far. That's some outstanding bowling, absolutely. She'll be squaring off against Shannon Plahowski on lane 23 and 24 over here. Third and fourth place on lanes 25 and 26, it'll be Kelly Kulick and Erin McCarthy. In fifth, absolutely. In fifth and sixth place on lanes 19 and 20, Shannon O'Keefe and Rocio Restrepo. Shannon O'Keefe is 57 pins back. She's kind of got an outside chance there maybe to sneak in. You never know. There's $1,000 in John's pocket for a perfect game, so who knows? It's possible. All right, bowlers, as soon as the lanes come on, we're going to give you 5 more minutes of practice. Okay, bowlers, 2 minutes remaining in practice time. This is your 2-minute warning. Okay, bowlers, practice time is over. Please, no more deliveries. If you hold up on your practice, we'll get going here in our final position round game. Just a reminder, 1 and 2 on 23 and 24, 3 and 4 over here on 25 and 6. There could be some movement in the top 4 there. And like I mentioned, Shannon O'Keefe, outside chance over here.
All right, ready to get going here with our position round this week at the PWBA Lincoln Open. And could be an interesting finish, depending on how things shake out here in this last game. We've got our top 4 bowlers on the featured pairs for this final game of match play. Amanda Green taking on Shannon Pluhowski. Amanda with 117-pin lead in the top spot. And Kelly Kulik taking on Erin McCarthy. They're much closer, only 17 pins separating them. And the wild card in this round would be Shannon O'Keefe, who's 57 back going into the last game, and she'll be bowling Rocio Restrepo, who's 160 back of 4th, so unlikely that she would make it. So basically, Jason Thomas, Shannon O'Keefe needs to bowl a pretty decent game and win, and hope for a close battle between Erin and Kelly that's not too high scoring, and she could find a way to sneak in there.
Yeah, I mean, all she really needs would be one of those 2 players to have a rough game.
Yep.
And she could slide in.
But the key is she has to win the match.
Yeah, you would think.
To get there. Unless it's a very high scoring
yeah,
loss.
Right, exactly.
So McCarthy and Kulik both starting with strikes. It's not impossible for Pluhowski to get the top seed, but unlikely. She's 117 back.
Very, very
so
unlikely.
She would have to beat Amanda Green by 88 pins in this game.
Almost equally unlikely as someone overtaking her for second.
Yeah, exactly right. So we'll see what happens. We got 9 frames to go. And then we'll have our stepladder tonight in a little bit less than 2 hours. Well, Erin McCarthy looking pretty strong.
Yeah, she's got a really good look right now. I like her chances. If I had to pick between her and Kelly just to win the match, I would pick Erin.
And if this Kelly and Erin game turns into a 240-240 match, that increases the likelihood that they're both going to stay in.
Absolutely. Shannon started with a spare, Shannon O'Keefe, I should say. We've got more than one Shannon in the mix right now.
Oh, they've got some games here for your guaranteed fun at Sun Valley Lanes. And the Bowling News Network came on momentarily, or Bowling Music Network.
Plahowski didn't even blink. She just went right up and struck.
Nothing phases her. Nothing slows down her pace of play. Well, so far, so good for Kelly and Erin in terms of staying in 3 and 4. Both starting with doubles. Both looking pretty solid early on here. Ring 10 for Kelly.
Yeah, I mean, Kelly's got a nice look to the pocket, but I just don't think her ball's going through the pins as nicely as Erin's is right now. So I'd give Erin the slight edge.
Well, we have our Bowl TV mobile cam set up behind Shannon O'Keefe and Rosia Restrepo. Basically on top of the match down there is the camera. You can see Shannon goes high on that one, leaves the 9-pin, almost 4-9'd on that shot. She's got to find a way to throw strikes if she wants to make it into the finals tonight.
I mean, there's no reason for Kelly to try to change what she has either. I mean, she's got probably a 220 or a 230 look, and that's going to be enough. So.
Yeah, you would think that's enough. Because Shannon O'Keefe is 57 behind Erin McCarthy, and Kelly's another 17 pins ahead of that.
Right.
So she's at 74 ahead of Shannon. And Erin with the front 3.
Yeah, see, she's just popping the 10 out.
Yep.
She's pretty much got every hit working her way. Yeah, I left for a couple of games ago, and it looked like anybody within that top 4 still had a chance at the 1 seed, and then Amanda put a little run on everybody and separated herself. So.
Yeah, she didn't want to drop down, I don't think. And she's going to be the top seed tonight.
Well, that's
Shannon Plahowski will be the number 2 seed.
That's the nice thing about having a big lead is, you know, you might have a bad game or two and people come back, but it just like in basketball, it's hard to sustain that run. You know, you saw Shannon O'Keefe come out of the gate strong early in the block, and then she had a couple of issues as she tried to, you know, keep it going, and it comes in spurts.
Well, Shannon O'Keefe, 9 spare, 9 spare, 9 spare, not enough, not enough, not enough.
No, not at this point.
The way things are going. Kelly, 4th frame. She gets the strike. Pretty much a nightmare first 3 or 4 frames here for Shannon O'Keefe. It's the exact opposite of what she needs to have happen. She's losing in her match, and Kelly and Erin are bowling a high-scoring game so far. But still got 6 frames left. Could change a lot, but like you said, Jason, ball reaction for Kelly and Erin, but they both look pretty good. Looking like 220, 230 ball reaction at this point, maybe more.
Yeah, definitely Erin. But Kelly looks like she's going to make a little subtle adjustment here, and we'll see how that changes the way the ball goes through the pins.
That one was left off her hand a little bit. She didn't quite get it far enough right. Seems like she's got to get it to the spot. To the right.
It's in there with Amanda.
Yep. Stepladder finals coming up about an hour and 45 minutes from now. Sun Valley Lanes. It'll be right here on Bull TV on Extra Frame. Well, Aaron McCarthy certainly would love to go front six here, throw a couple strikes on these next two shots, and maybe coast her way to the finals tonight. Look at her getting the 10 out. No problem.
Still got that $1,000 bonus.
That's right. Still up for grabs. John and I were talking about it earlier. We were kind of hoping that it would happen during the stepladder tonight. He said he might have to up the ante if that happens.
That's what I've heard.
We'll see.
Heard some rumors.
Let's go over and take a look at our Bull TV mobile cam. I should trademark that or copyright it or whatever.
Yeah.
Shannon O'Keefe. 3 spares in a row to start. That one looks pretty good. Gets the strike. She's going to need a lot of strikes, though, to have any chance. Oh, Aaron doesn't like it. I don't know if she didn't catch it at the bottom or what, but double wood for her.
Yeah, it looked like it. Just missed it a little bit at the bottom.
Still got a nice lead, though, in this game against Kulik, and that start created some more separation between her and Shannon. There's Shannon again. She steps up in the 5th looking for a double. Trouble right there. Through the face, leaves the split. 6, 7, 10.
Yeah, that
could be all she wrote.
It could be it right there.
Pluhowski. 4 in a row. Well, Pluhowski goes 290 here. That could make things interesting for the top seed.
Yeah, that Amanda would still need 204 to lock up the top seed, and right now she's on a 190 pace.
Yeah, so it's still possible mathematically. That one got away from Kelly.
Well, you see, that's what happens when you're trying to get the ball to go through the pins a little better, and you start losing the pocket a little bit sometimes. I think really what happened is she's trying to get her hand around it a little bit more so she can create a little more back end reaction, and the ball's just now coming a little too hard off the spot. And if she's going to do that, she needs to get a little bit deeper and send it a little bit more, give it a little bit more room on the back to make that hard turn. And it's funny, Dell's back here, Dell Ballard Jr., Kelly's ball rep, scratching his head saying, just kind of telling her, more left to right, more left to right.
Just got to get it to the spot. Get it right. See what happens. Right now, McCarthy up big. 43 pins in this game. It's a good shot. It's hard to see any scenario where O'Keefe makes it at this point.
Well, Shannon can
she
shoot
can go
236. Right.
And you would have to think that she would need to pass Kelly at this point. And she was 74 pins behind Kelly. So she needs to beat her by 45. So if Shannon strikes out for 236, that means that Kelly needs to be in the 190s.
Yeah, she'd need 191. Yeah, she's only on a 195 pace,
So
so it's still possible.
It's possible, yeah. I would guess that Kelly will throw a double at some point, though, knowing her.
Well, she's a little lost right now. I mean, she's, you know, you would assume that this next shot up in the 8th, she's going to figure out the right move. Because she was lined up on that lane before, and she just didn't like the way the ball was going through the pin. So she made a move, went high, split. You'd assume this next shot she's going to move enough to figure out how to get the ball to the pocket.
Well, it seems all but certain that Erin McCarthy is going to be our number 3 seed, the way this match is progressing.
Yeah, she might have made it interesting if Plahowski wasn't also shooting a big
Yeah.
game.
Well, Plowski had that 9 spare in the 6th, which really makes it hard for her to come back to get the top seed. Shannon with another strike, or with a strike. Shannon really had to, Plahowski really had to strike out to have a chance to get the top seed. I think that's out the window now. But here's a big shot from Kelly Kulik. I told you she'd throw a double.
Yeah, she's so good. I mean, most people when they're hitting the pocket every shot and they have a 230 reaction, they're good with it. But she saw something more out there.
Go over and take a look at O'Keefe. And yes, our Bold TV mobile cam is a little overexposed, unfortunately, because of the lighting down there. And she gets a strike again, so holding on hope, I suppose.
Yeah, she's got a chance still. You know, Kelly's going to need to stay clean. Got 2 frames left here. As we mentioned, needs 191 or better. And on a 205 pace right now with 2 frames left.
Pretty solid.
That's going to lock her onto the show right there.
So it looks like it's going to be Amanda Green, number 1, Shannon Plahowski, number 2. We'll see how this match finishes, but at this rate, Erin McCarthy, number 3, and Kelly Kulik, number 4.
That looks like it. It's going to be a great stepladder finals.
And it will begin in an hour and 35 minutes. Right here live on Bold TV on Extra Frame. Erin McCarthy locking up the number 3 seed. Really not a lot of significance in being 3 or 4 in lane choice, I guess.
Right.
In the first match. Championship pair going to be 23 and 24, which is where Amanda Green is bowling right now.
So any predictions for the finals here, Lucas?
Someone will be the winner and take home $10,000.
That's a good prediction. No one can argue with that.
It's hard to say. You got 4 great players who bowled well all week. It really could go any which way.
Well, we know it's going to be on 23 and 4. Shannon Plahowski's bowling a great game, and she's the only lefty on the show. So you gotta like her odds. Amanda's pretty much dominated all week, but she's toward the end here kind of tapered off just a bit.
And it'll be her first stepladder appearance.
Yeah.
Bowling for a national title. Can never underestimate what kind of an impact that can have on players.
And you got probably the hometown crowd pulling for Erin McCarthy and Shannon Plahowski.
Certainly. Both of them won national titles for Nebraska. And Erin McCarthy still lives in Nebraska down the road in Omaha, only about an hour away.
And then you've got arguably the greatest woman bowler of all time.
Who only has one PWBA Tour title.
Correct. And who also almost went up the stepladder a couple weeks back and won another title.
Aaron McCarthy puts 257 on the board here in the position round to move up to the number 3 slot. Puhowski blasting the rack. She's going to be at 269. Is it possible that she could still go ahead of her?
No.
It was 100. She has to beat her by what, 87?
It's possible, but
I guess
yeah.
it depends on what Amanda would do in the 10th.
Yeah, she'd have to. Well, even if she shoots 160, she'd get to 937, and yeah, Shannon would get to 959. So.
Yeah, so Shannon's making it pretty close here.
So she needs 182. She does need a mark.
Yeah.
And now she does.
Well, now that changes things a little bit. 257. I think Pluhowski knew it too. She always knows the numbers. Pluhowski's going to go plus 87 this game, which will put her at plus 947. And that means that Amanda Green only needs 171. So basically, Amanda Green wants to avoid the gray board. Or a big split through the face, something like that. Like 5 out would be 170, so just hit the right side of the head pin and take the top seed. Doesn't really matter by how many pins.
Yeah, a little bit reminiscent of what happened with Danielle McEwen last week, with Danielle kind of shutting it down in the last game and coasting into the finals, and then losing in the stepladder.
Yep. Plowski's pretty upset that she didn't get that second one in the 10th. She really wanted that top seed.
Yeah, I mean, you never know what can happen. Like we just mentioned, you know, Amanda's never been in the position before, and you kind of want to make her earn it.
All right, well, we're going to get set up for our stepladder here in the next few minutes. We'll let you watch the introduction of the 4 players who are going to be on the show. That'll be coming up in just a minute or so. They still have the 10th frame to bowl down on a couple of the matches on the lower end. So we will step away here. We know that it is number 1 seed Amanda Green, number 2 Shannon Pluhowski, number 3 Aaron McCarthy, and number 4 Kelly Kulik. And our final shot here from Amanda. We'll see everybody back here for the stepladder in a little bit. Jason Thomas, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we'll
It's
see
gonna be fun.
About an hour and a half from now, we'll get started with our stepladder.
Okay, bowling fans, that's it. How about a round of applause for all of our competitors? Some great bowling out there. It is my pleasure to introduce to you our top 4 finalists for tonight's stepladder finals. Qualifying in the 4th position, 5 PWBA titles in all. The 2010 PBA Tournament of Champions, your number 4 qualifier, Kelly Kulik. Her opponent in the opening match, in search of her first PWBA title. She finished 2nd at this year's Queens. Please welcome Erin McCarthy. The winner of that match will go on and face our number 2 seed. I think most of you might know who this young lady is. She has a Queens title to her credit, our former Cornhusker. Please welcome Shannon Pluhowski. And our tournament leader, the winner of that match, will face this young lady in search of her first PWBA title. She comes to us from Romney, West Virginia. Please welcome Amanda Green. All right, bowling fans, these are your 4 finalists for tonight's stepladder finals. That will start promptly at 6:30. We'll take a break here and we'll get the lanes set up and everything ready to go for the stepladder finals. Thank you.